stuff like that. So, Elliot, what ways, it could be anybody, but I'm just saying Elliot, what ways will we have to pay off fines in the future? Do we always have to go and do it at a terminal or in person, or can we just wire transfer? Will there ever be, and we'll start with there, and then there's a follow-up.
In the current plan, so far in our sort of tier 1, I guess, we're having actual terminals you have to go to pay off these fines. I'm not sure of any plans in the future to do sort of
wire
transfer of
transfers.
credits.
I'm sure I know players will be able to transfer money. Well, I don't know that. I assume they'll be able to transfer money back and forth between themselves, which kind of, you asked the question, why wouldn't you also be able to do it this way? We do know we want the kiosks there, like something physical, to allow you to hack it.
Hacking public terminals now to remove fines. Can't say I dislike the idea. I think that it's great. Are we going to need to use one of these hacking keys to do it? I'm guessing that seems to be right now the device, the mechanism by which the hacking system is available to us. I feel I want to know more. I'm not rejecting the system. I'm not mad about the system. I'm totally okay with this system. But I would like to know more. I'm curious as to what CIG really envisions with hacking going forward. Are these keys going to be something that players can manufacture? Can players express skill through the manufacture of these keys? Like, let's say, any old player can just kind of make a key that will basically get the job done, but it'll take a long time. But if a player really puts a lot of work into it, collects all the necessary datas from whatever sources to make like a really top-notch key, that their key is noticeably superior to any other key, giving players that way to kind of express their skill through their profession. One of the comments on last Friday's video was dealing with a little bit of professions and, as an avenue for, single player gameplay. And I totally agree. And I kind of wanted to delve into that a little bit more, but I think that that's going to be a separate video because I realized, as I was thinking about it, that there was so much to unpack there. But in a lot of video games, they're really, where professions are present, and there's some obvious examples out there and some obvious examples of complete failures of profession systems or profession systems that kind of, totally went down the tubes. You probably know the game that I'm talking about. But I hope that if we are able to manufacture these keys, if there's some kind of data collection or hardware collection process that goes into it, like going out and purchasing, well, not just purchasing the best decks, the best equipment to stick in your Herald or to stick in your Star Runner or whatever ship that you're using to manufacture these keys in. I would like it to be beyond just the idea of, purchasing a piece of equipment and you just go and push the create one gold standard hack key, please, and it does it. I would like for, players who go the extra mile and who really, try to create something special, they can create something that's better than the run of the mill, something that's known for its quality, something that would make another player go, oh, I bought this key off of such and such and it was amazing. Normal key works in 5 minutes, this key worked in 30 seconds and it never tripped the alarms. I want to go buy keys from that guy, even though it costs more, because I know I can just go trip it in. Done deal. I would love for this profession system to go in that direction. And that, frankly, with a lot of profession systems in a lot of games, it's just like, oh, I have the blueprint now. I can make, this thing. And then the next guy goes, well, I got that blueprint too, so I can make this thing. And everyone knows that this thing is just this thing, and it's no different between the two players. Whereas I would like to see the player skill or the player's, dedication expressed through the end quality of the product. That would be my idealization. Maybe that's not possible. Maybe, the extent to which something like that would be possible maybe won't be something that most players will go, oh, just get the other one, it doesn't matter. But I would love to see a system like that. I would really, really like that. That to me is a profession that's worth having. That's something that, as far as single player gameplay goes, that would definitely be something that I would be very, very interested in. Now, some people might say, oh, you're asking for too much, but I don't think so. I mean, the problem with a lot of economies in video games, especially relative to professions, is that there's always spreadsheets. There's always ways to game the system and just mass manufacture and just churn out as much of product A as you possibly can for, whatever profit you pull off of it. And it's so one-dimensional. It's so boring. And so many games are like that now. And I would rather see the market not defined by your ability to mass manufacture and, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to buy 1 million units of iron and 1 million units of copper, and I'm just going to make, swords or whatever. I'm going to make 10,000 of them and just flood the auction house with them. I don't want to see an economy like that. I would rather see an economy that the effort that the player puts in affects the product that the player gets out of it and what they can sell it for. I would rather see the economy, defined by skill rather than defined by, your ability to work a spreadsheet and mass manufacture en masse, because that's kind of just AFK gaming, really. It's not really real gameplay. I mean, at that point, you're just playing spreadsheets. Even beyond hacking, let's say like you owned a refining station on a planet and you were refining either, fuel that you were harvesting out of the ground or other people's, minerals that they bring into you. And yeah, you can just kind of put an NPC on the refinery panel and it gives you whatever quality of fuel coming out of it. But if you're willing to dedicate the time and the effort to kind of go to that panel and work that panel and kind of, the same way when you're mining, you have to kind of keep the power band within a certain area. Otherwise, the asteroid might explode or you don't get anything. I would like to see something like that, where if a player actually gets involved in the process and, intervenes, that they're going to produce a very noticeable effect. A very noticeable bonus in what you can harvest and what you get out of it, rather than, what we see in terms of professions in, most games these days. Now, the reason why I brought up the mining example is because, a lot of people say, oh, you're putting all these demands on Star Citizen. The mining example is a perfect example of things going in the right direction. And that's what I would like to see, them double down on. The fact that players have to get involved in the mining process more than just kind of like, oh, well, I've got Netflix on my second monitor and, whatever. I just push the button when it turns green. I like that. And I really hope that they continue on with those efforts. It's, even mining is just a tier 0 implementation. And you might look at it and say, well, dude, that's really basic. But no, it indicates that there's a deeper system at play there, other than just push button and watch, or fall into, your cargo bay. I hope it's something that continues, and it seems like it very much is going to be. And I'm really excited to see what they do with hacking. I mean, obviously, I can't stop talking about it, but I'm really interested to see where we go beyond just the going and using the keys, but where do we go with being able to make the keys? That's what I would really like to find out. I really hope that of all the dev chats that we get in the future, that if anybody from CIG is watching, I would love to hear what, not your specific plans and your dates of delivery and all that stuff, because all that, yes, is up in the air, but your thoughts, your ideas, your direction, what are you hoping for? What are you aiming for as far as hacking goes? What would you like to see it become? That's what I would be very interested in finding out. And I'm sure there's probably a few other people out there who would love to hear this as well. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.